Can I let you in on a little secret? I used to live somewhere called Victimland. Have you ever been there? That's what we're going to be talking about today, amigos. We're going to be talking about victim mindset. So let's get into it. Let me give you some context, okay, before I get into it. So in 2020, I came out of a toxic relationship, right? And we've all had them. Yeah, we've all been there. Anyways, coming out of this relationship, life was really hard and life was really dark, right? There was a lot of different things that was going on. And what happened was I strolled into victimland, and I resided there for a very long time. And, very welcoming. There was like, you can stay here forever. Anyways, come 2021, I went to therapy, because life was very heavy. Wasn't pleasant what I was experiencing, and I was struggling. Okay, I was in a very dark place and I needed some help. So yeah, I got myself some help and I went to therapy. And it was through therapy that I realized that my mindset was hopeless. So I was meant to receive therapy called CBT therapy, right? Which is cognitive behavioral therapy, the type of therapy that people have with PTSD, However, I wasn't able to receive that therapy because my trauma wasn't post, so it wasn't in the past, it was very much still present, So Mary decided, I want to help you. We started working on me, we took it all the way back to the roots, all the way back to childhood, and we started unpacking, right? So, Victimland. The reason why I want to talk about it is because it's so powerful, and without recognizing or realizing that you live in there, you will stay there, So, as we know, your brain adapts to what you repeatedly tell it, right? So if your internal dialogue is always focused on like helplessness or blame or unfairness or powerlessness, then eventually your mind starts operating from that lens automatically, right? So sometimes, right, after enough disappointment or pain or hardship, you can unconsciously start believing that you have no power over your life anymore. This was me, I was her. And also, psychology, just so you know, calls this learned helplessness, okay? And the thing is about that is once you believe that nothing changes, then you stop making changes. Do you know what I mean? And again, like we know, the words that you repeatedly use influence your mindset and your self-perception, right? So, language, right? The language that you use day to day matters so much more than what people realize. And that's because words reinforce your identity, right? So, for example, for myself at the time, I had this constant like internal dialogue of, why is this happening to me? Nobody understands me. I can't catch a break. Like this was my dialogue, this was like my language, right, at the time. And other thoughts, like other examples of this could be, why does this always happen to me? Life's against me. There's no point in trying because nothing works out for me. I can't do anything right. Or what's the point? Everything bad happens to me. Nothing ever changes. Why does this keep happening to me? So what happens is then eventually your mind stops hearing that these are temporary emotions, right? And starts accepting them as truth. And like my little sister will say, oh, where's the violin? Anyways, I say that to say this, right? Because it's really important to recognize what language you're using. And because the thing is, if you're not aware of something, then you can't change it. And that I wasn't aware that I was residing in victimland, you know what I mean? Like, they kept me very comfortable there, Like I'm saying, I had help, right? Because I had a therapist, but it was no longer what she was teaching me it wasn't about him. It wasn't about what he was doing. I cannot control the actions or the emotions of other people. I can only do something about my own reactions and myself, right? And my own emotions, you know? That's what I can fix. That's what I can do. And the thing is, right, what I want to make crystal clear, right, is experiencing hardship or trauma or pain or unfairness does not make you weak. Okay? The difference is whether you stay identified with powerlessness. Because here's the thing, right? At some point, I had to stop asking myself or asking the question of why is this happening to me? And I had to start asking, what is this teaching me? So this is where it was all birthed. This is where the systems that I then started putting in place for myself, this is how it all started, because I started to acknowledge and become aware of my mind state, the emotions that I was feeling, and I also started to understand and recognize that I could do something about that, right? I could change my life, you know what I mean? I didn't have to stay here because it was really hard and it was really heavy and I didn't want to stay there, you know? So this is where my healing started, right? When I stopped thinking that the world was against me and I started understanding that it was all happening for me, not to me. And you know, look at me now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good, you know what I mean? So it is possible. You are able to navigate through this land. But that's when the healing really, you know, like I'm saying, really started happening for me, was when I stopped seeing myself as somebody that things happen to, right? I started seeing myself as somebody capable of changing my life. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to speak about today, because, you know I'm not the only one, right? And like I said, I was welcomed into victimland, yeah? Like, misery loves company, right? And like I'm saying, that period of time in my life was not pleasant, right? It was a dark time. However, like I'm saying, look at me now, you know? Like, I am no longer her. I'm no longer that girl. Like, I've evolved and I've grown so much. But if I didn't have that period of time where I was able to acknowledge and to recognize, this isn't serving me, like, this doesn't make me feel good, you know? And I was able to reclaim my power. I was able to call my power back, because again, it's not about others, it's about me and how I show up in the world, right? And also, I'm gonna let you in on another little secret, okay? So there was some powerful songs that I would listen to, right, when I was in this very dark space and I was trying to get myself home. I was trying to find my way back to myself, yeah? I was trying to exit the maze of victimland, you know? And you know, maybe if you're feeling like, am I living in victimland? Is this what I'm doing? Maybe just go and listen to these tunes, do you know what I mean? Because they're good songs. The first one was Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Don't get me started, because I can feel it coming up now. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference. And the second verse is very powerful. So, and because, you know, he's like, I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. Oh, I had to listen to after I've recorded this, you know. Another one was TLC, Unpretty. You can buy your hair if you won't grow. You can fix your nose if he says so. You can buy all the makeup the man can make. But if you can't look inside you, find out who am I to be in the position to make me feel so damn unpretty. I make it feel unpretty too. Oh, what my God. And another one was Justin Timberlake, What Goes Around Comes Around. Hey girl, is he everything you want in a man? That one. And honestly, it really helped me, you know what I mean? It really helped me. So I'll share that little talk with you, do you know what I mean? Go listen to the songs. And that's the thing about victim land, you know what I mean? You're so consumed with yourself that everything is like, me. Oh, why is everything happening to me? You know, like, oh, the saying, woe is me. It's giving victim, yeah? But you're not a victim, you know? You know how powerful you are. I know how powerful you are, but I need you to recognize how powerful you are. I need you to understand how powerful you are. So, yeah. But yeah, man, that's just what I wanted to talk about today. Because like I'm saying, you know, I used to reside there for a very long time and it's hard, right? And, you know, you're important and you're powerful and I will keep reminding you of your power, you know? But look at me now, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that leads me to this anyway. You know what I mean? Food for thought, just let it sink in, just let it marinate, you know what I mean? Think on it, you know what I mean? But ask yourself something honestly, yeah? Is life happening to you? Have you become so identified with your pain, your disappointment, and your past that you can no longer see your own power? So, challenge yourself this week. Observe your thoughts, observe your language. Are you healing or are you living in victim land? Let it sink in, they marinate. I'm just the messenger, yeah? I don't know who needed to hear this today, but here's to you, here's to you. And I'm with you, man, I'm with you. And like I'm saying, there's no judgments, yeah? I'm here, I'm with you, like I get it, I've been there, yeah? But just remember, if you are there and you've acknowledged, you know what? The violins are really playing loud over here, yeah? I'm living in a bit of victim land. It's okay because you've acknowledged it, so well done you know. And then you accept it, you know, and then you can start to do something about it. So yeah. But amigos, that is it from me today. Thank you so much if you have watched this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And have an amazing week. I'll see you next week. Bye.